Welcome back, Commander. In this video, we take a look at the characters from Mass Effect, from bad to worst, but with a slight twist. If this is your first time here, I make videos on Mass Effect, so if you enjoy the content, come join the crew and hit that subscribe button and come chat to me in the comments. Just like Genshep. Vega is my bro, why is he on this list? That's right, this list order has been decided by the community. I selected a few characters from the game, mainly the ones who've always seemed to get the hate, and let you decide who is the worst. So with over 4,000 votes, let's get started with the character with the least amount. I actually like Miranda. I like her character arc from being a Cerberus cheerleader to telling the elusive man that she quits. TV Tim seems to agree with me. As to Jacob and Miranda, I wouldn't say they were bad, but they just felt boring. Their story arcs were at least some interesting, with Jacob's father the terribleness and Miranda getting her sister out safely. Beyond that, they just felt meh. Miranda isn't helped by all that perfect genetics crap. Undyne doesn't think Miranda should have been on the list at all. Kailang should have replaced Miranda, whereas Matthew Darnell, to the 1% that picked Miranda out of these, why the face? Are you thinking? Not overly sure about that one. Adam Stevens says, Miranda should have got no votes. I use her a lot in Insanity Run. She's also a vital character with a good story and a sub-side plot with Jack. Do you agree with that? Miranda had some flack in the past for going on and on about her perfect genes, and she's more of a forgettable personality, but she did gather quite a bit of support with everyone thought she was getting censored. And just looking from those comments, she's got a lot of love here too. James Vega was a latecomer to the Mass Effect series, appearing only in Mass Effect 3, although his backstory was fleshed out in the prequel movie Paragon Lost. James has come under fire for being such a generic meathead with zero understanding of what's going on around him. However, this was intentional by the developers. Without wanting to alienate new players starting a franchise with the third game, why anyone would do that is just madness, but he is here to represent new players who don't know what's going on, and so gives a good reason for exposition. But what does the community think? Notorious BLT 103 says, James is pretty good for a last minute addition to the franchise. I think he's my second favourite human squad mate after Kailang. Whereas Jominix says, I do not understand the hate for James. I find it pretty funny and a good friend. However, Benny Nuts 31 isn't so much of a fan. Vega because he's just a playable NPC with a little story to make it credible. No romance, no useful abilities. I do find him hard to get bond with as he's so late to the party. By Mass Effect 3 I've already made strong personal relationships with the returning crew, so I'd prefer to take them out on missions rather than him. But I don't dislike him though. It was a tough fight for number 3 place, and to be honest I expected Ashley to be a lot higher. Quite disliked for her remarks about dogs and other aliens, it gave her rise to the space racist name, and people also hated the way her personality completely changes in Mass Effect 3. Not happy with her one way, not happy with her another way. So there's just no some pleasing people. But let's see what you think. Straight off the bat is Sam, with Ashley on the other hand is just obnoxious, especially with how they treated her in Mass Effect 3. She's supposed to be a rough military woman, but some makeup fiend who doesn't even wear armour. Clearly they went all in on her breasts and forgot everything else. Is the way they treated her in Mass Effect 3 more of a victim of circumstance? After all, they had to write 2 separate characters for the same person. Known as the Vermeer Survivor, both Kailang and Ashley fill the same role, but only one of them will ever be alive at this point. Therefore, writing 2 characters is more work than writing for one, with just a few tweaks here and there. Jess Taylor 6, also known as Taylor 6, says, I mean most of them are awful. Ashley is frequently racist, turns her back on you, will not listen under any circumstance, threaten you or in an attempt to harm you while you're trying to stay on mission, which is saving the council, so society doesn't fall apart. Then either dies cursing you or joins your crew so she can continue her attempts at belittling you indefinitely. Let's not overlook all those things. To be honest, I'm finding it hard to argue with those points. However, Foggy Pigeon says, Ash does come around. She actually defends aliens when talking about the Terra Nova party leader in Mass Effect 1 as well. There are more to her in their opinions than just being a racist. I leave Kailang behind every time because of all of her flaws. Ashley is far more interesting character, that lifeless piece of cardboard. Macaroni himself says Ashley is honestly more annoying than Jacob, but the real annoying dude is Kailang. Well, we're going to get to Kailang shortly, but next on the list is Jacob. There are a lot of hate for this character, and I had lots of comments to choose from. Personally, I don't hate the character at all, and like most people, I just find him boring. He starts off looking like he's going to be your Garrus replacement, your buddy, someone who's got your back. But the more you speak to him, it just doesn't go anywhere. It's especially worse if you're a female shepherd and have zero interest in him romantically. It's recorded in such a cringy way, like this.
I'm more interested in just talking for a bit.
Already? I'm not big on forcing these talks, Shepard.
I'm quite surprised Jacob ended up so high. I always figured an alien-hating space racist, as somebody people like to call her, would have topped this poll. I mean, not me, I quite like to date her. But as you can see from the results, the community can overlook that. What they can't stand is someone who's just dull. Oh, and, cheats on you if you do romance them. Just like Quantrell Trovel thinks. Kailang is an enemy by default, so he's supposed to be bad. What Jacob does is romance Femshep is terrible. That's betrayal, and I cannot abide. Mohammed Jawad says, in my opinion, Jacob is a really useless character. There's almost no good reason to take him with us, except for the starting of the game when he's doing his royalty mission. Clint Belden, I chose Jacob because I feel that the game would be just as good without him. I think that his storyline was pretty mediocre, and after he helps you out in the beginning of Mass Effect 2, his character becomes pointless. Yet he still does have his fans. Inquisitor Thomas backs him up by saying, if you're playing male Shepard, it isn't that bad. His personality is a bit boring, his loyalty mission is a bit meh, his arc as conclusion's alright. If you're playing Femshep, you have to deal with Femshep's flirty tone every time you talk to Jacob, his romance is one of the worst in the game, with some pretty cringy dialogue, and he cheats on you after a few months of separation. Hey, I'm all up for cheating in Mass Effect, but as long as it's me doing the cheating. And yet this comment from Sinfel is what I think sums up Jacob perfectly. Jacob Taylor is actually a well-written character. His problem is literally everyone else around him outshines him. So that means the number one spot for the most hated character of Mass Effect from the carefully selected nominees goes to, drumroll, Kailang. So Kailang was a massively underused, and it shows. After only having a couple of on-screen appearances, he runs away from all his encounters with Shepard. It's a shame really, because in the books and the comics he's a very well fleshed out character and could have been made a more formidable enemy for Shepard. See, Real agrees with this. I believe Kailang was much better character in the Drew Karpyshyn novel, Mass Effect Retribution. You can understand his personality and his strong loyalty to Cerberus, which shapes him into the cool, feared assassin. However, I think he was rushed, undeveloped and wasted opportunity for someone greater in Mass Effect 3. Not too much from the novel carries over to the game. Dark Voice had this take on him. Kailang was just a completely misused character, poorly written, and his battles were very badly thought out. He should have been in the Mass Effect universe from the beginning, not from the third part. He is overly edgy, doesn't command any respect, and easy to defeat. Even if his fight was completely scripted, if it was a hard fight, people would accept it. Dark Voice also goes on to break down why the fight doesn't work, and it's a good read, so I recommend you check that out on the community page. Amanda brings up a very good point. Kailang is more like Kailang. I get he's supposed to be a villain, but he's more like a spoilt brat trying to get daddy's approval. The elusive man. He's not very well written, plus he killed the female Shepard's boyfriend. Not cool. Poor thing. However, Alec makes a very good point. Kailang, but honestly, it's not fair because he's the only antagonist on this list. Did I actually mess this up by picking only one antagonist? Have I already steered the results towards Kailang before the vote had even started? However, this comment did stand out to me by Roy and a few others. Kailang, he doesn't have a past or really information about him. He's just another assassin, but only with a name. I think it would have been better if Kailang appeared in Mass Effect 2 as Cerberus' partner and he never leaves Cerberus, so that would be a more dramatic battle and you could choose to kill or not your friend, or possible Shepard if he stayed in Cerberus 2. How much better would it have been for someone who comes with the Normandy in Mass Effect 2, who you've built up a personal relationship or maybe even saved your life, but is still loyal to Cerberus, and now is actively working against you? How much better would that have been? To see all the unique dialogue from the Cerberus headquarters, click the video that's on screen now. Thank you to everyone who's liked and commented, I've really enjoyed reading them, and thanks to Nerdy Dude and all my supporters. I'll see you next time. Commander.